Good morning. So today it's gonna get hot. So while it's cool in the morning, I want to be where there's no shade. In the afternoon, I can work on the trailer. I think I'm done putting together stuff that the bull tore apart in the crail. Just minor touch up on that. So while the sun's out, I want to be where it's cooler in the shade. That's where the trailer is. So while it's cool in the morning, we're gonna work on a new pasture or paddock. Weird calling it a pasture when it's so small, but weird calling it a paddock because I just don't enjoy that term. So what we're doing, look, the sheep have been over there, what we call the circle pasture. And yes, it's a perfect square, but it's where the trucks circle to turn around to go to the loadout. So it's a circle pasture. And their water is right there. The pickup is used as a water trailer, a self-moving water trailer, if you please. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow them to get on this side versus that side. So I'm going to run a fence from that post over to here. But right here, that post over to about there-ish, back down into here-ish, over to here, which is a little bigger than what it just looked like with my finger. It's going to become our sacrifice area, and that is where the pickup with the water tank is going to go, with a little bit of shelter. And there's going to be a gate here allowing them to get from paddock pasture number 2 into the water. And then eventually that way is going to be another gate, that way is going to be another gate, and that way is going to be another gate, and there's going to be 4 pastures attached to this water source. So that way we can move them around every 2 weeks or so, which is 56 days, and that'll give good time for parasites to die before they are ingested again after being secreted by the sheep, and time for grass to recover. Now, these pastures are massive for 4 sheep, because you can technically run 4 sheep to an acre, based on my estimations for our area and rainfall, for an entire year. And this is going to be roughly 4 acres between the 4 pastures for the whole sheep for a year. So that's still a sheep an acre, which is what I've been shooting for the initial year of sheep. So this is too much grass, because if lambing goes well, we plan on having more than 4 sheep. But that's what I'm working on this morning. Let's get to work. The nice thing is, it's been a very wet year, and we just got 1.5 inches of rain last night, and this pasture has sat empty all year long, because I was saving it to be a winter home for our cows, which it still will be. They're going to rotate with the calves to grub down with the sheep, winter home for the cows. They'll rotate in front of or right behind the sheep, because their parasites are different, and one will kill one for the other, and one will kill one for the other, which is a really handy little system that the good Lord created. And the cows will also help knock it down more than the sheep will, especially with my low sheep numbers, acting like a mower in a front yard. Because if you mow it off shorter, the grass will have a fighting chance against the weeds. If you never knock it all the way down, weeds aren't as tasty, not as desired, weeds stay bigger, weeds choke out the grass. So we'll use the cows to mow it off like you would a front yard, and that'll keep the weeds a little bit more at bay without spraying, because cows eating is free. Spraying costs money. Sorry about that. Okay. So now we're at the north end of our future pasture. Set this post. There's going to be a gate right here that allows us even further north where I'm not going to put sheep. And that's 6 or 7 acre pasture that will just be for cows waiting on the feedlot or winter home or just another place to go to with small numbers for short periods of time. So we're going to run this fence from here down to our sacrifice pen, finish that gate, bring it here. I'm just going to string across this. I'm not going to put a gate right now because I just want to get this to where I can get sheep in it. And since the sheep have never once tried to contest the fence we put in, for this fence, I am going to make it hot, but I think I'm going to only make the bottom wire hot because on the fence over there in the circle pasture where we started them, I added another wire right here between 1 and 2, and I added a hot wire so it was ground, hot, ground, and then one all the way up top. They've never challenged it at all, so I think I'm just going to make this one hot. No, I lied. I think I'm just going to make this one hot and just leave it right where it's at. So I'll have to tie it off, throw a corner insulator on it there, because otherwise it'll get killed by all those T-posts. And then we'll just insulate all those posts and make that hot and connect it to the circle pasture. And that'll be how we get hot all the way around. So I'm going to start by stringing this wire up between here and the sacrifice pin to give me my straight line for putting my post in along this stretch. And the only reason they call it a sacrifice pen is not because we kill sheep there, but because at some point, since that's the shelter and the water, there will be no grass, and you are sacrificing that part of your pasture for your shelter and for your water. So I'm gonna run some wire, get my line so my posts are straight, because I like aesthetics and I want straight fences. It also helps stuff to stay tighter if it's straighter and it's easier to maintain, and blah, 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 blah. So we got the wire strung up. We got that wire tied off. We'll just move that one to there. That way the circuit's complete, or we'll just put a jump wire on it for now. And then that one's tied off, so that way that fence is still solid. Now to set some posts and then go from there. Now I'll figure out exactly what I want to do for the sacrifice pen. I have some woven wire that might do it, or we might build a little pallet trail. Hey look, there's the wife and baby. Let's spy on the wife and baby. We're spying on the wife and baby. Anyway, that's where we're at. Posts are in, ready for a second wire. Need to insulate that fence, and then need to put up the east side of the sacrifice pen, and then I'm just going to open the gate and let them have both of these and not worry about moving the water yet. Not a bad morning so far. I know a lot of rotational sheep grazers are like, just do portable fences, pull it up and move it, don't make stationary permanent fences. I don't want to move fence every 5 days or 2 weeks. And I know he's like, you can do it more based on the grass's needs. Okay, well, I'm selfish enough. I want it based on my needs. And I don't want to move fence all the time. So I will rotate as grass is needed in a fixed pasture, and we will go from there. If it doesn't work, I'll change it. But for now, it's working because I haven't really started. But anyway, almost ready to open the gate. What's also nice about this pickup water hauler setup is that flatbed is tall enough and wide enough that it also serves as their shelter. So wherever it goes, for at least this many sheep, they have water and they have shelter. Hi, Mouse. You're a good girl. Okay, I think we're ready with exclusion to the actual water and shelter source, but today's actually staying really cool. So I want to put them over here and then try to move the water. And I think they might stay because there's plenty of groceries. They are very hot wire broke. They're hot wire broke when I bought these used that I'm starting with. So they haven't challenged a single fence yet. So I'm hoping that continues. And we'll see how this goes. So, see if they come to me or not. Abide! Abide! Lead the way, mouse. Come on. Abide! We'll trick them. Looks like I'm carrying something they want. Oops. Abide. Abide. So, if you're wondering, abide, what I'm saying the word abide. 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 And the reason I'm saying the word abide is just a very biblical animal. As we are called to be sheep, and Christ is the shepherd, and we are told to abide in him. So, in a daily effort to remind myself truths, that is the word I use to call my sheep, because I want them to trust me as their shepherd, as I am to trust Christ as mine, to provide food, water, protection. I am the living water and the bread of life. I am the gatekeeper to the pasture. But they aren't hungry enough to care about me, because they have been provided for. But that is why I use the word abide. So I may have to push them over here, but they also don't know that this is now an opening. They're used to this being a solid fence. So we'll work at this. So every good farmer rancher has ways to win. Mine is alfalfa pellets. Because yes, we butcher all grass, all natural sheep. Our maternal ewes that do not get butchered, abide, will get some treats. Our butcher pen does not. Abide. Gate's open, girls. Abide. I'm not gonna steer you wrong. I'll give you your treat on your mineral. Yeah, they don't care about no alfalfa pellets anymore. They got fresh, green groceries. Or until I step away from the pellets, then they care about the pellets. Because alfalfa is sweet, high in protein, good for them. And it is 100% alfalfa. So to me, if you ask me, it's still 100% natural, organic diet. It's just compressed into a more sellable item that you can make more money per pound on than you can on the bale. And it's just convenient because you don't have to have hay storage. But they are out here. I'm going to go eat lunch and then try to get their water moved out. We'll see if they like the new home. Thanks for coming along this morning.